This is how Swede speaks.
Recently, a Polish member of the European Parliament, Beata Mazurek, tweeted about Swedes leaving their home country and going to Poland. A Swedish minister responded to her tweet by talking about Polish thieves coming to Sweden. So what's going on between Sweden and Poland? That's what we will address in this video. Before we get started, I want to thank all of my financial supporters. This is my day job. Without you, this channel would not be possible. I also want to ask you to check out my website, swedespeaks.com, and to follow me on BitChute. There are links in the box below, and you know, better safe than sorry, so make sure to follow me there. I mean it, it's really important. So as I said, recently Beata Mazurek, member of the European Parliament for the Law and Justice Party, tweeted, quote, "Assassinations, increased crime, rape, fear and Sharia zones. These are the consequences of multiculturalism and open doors for immigrants. Swedes are fleeing their country to find peace and normality in Poland," unquote. The Swedish Justice Minister, Johansson, responded to Mazurek's tweet by telling the mainstream media outlet Aftonbladet that, quote, "Something they actually have problems with is foreign theft gangs, not least from Poland. Foreign gangs are behind almost half of all burglaries in Sweden and 90% of all thefts of cars, boat engines and agricultural machinery. If the honourable member can do something about it, I would be grateful," unquote. Nima Dervish, an author and former journalist living in Sweden, commented on Johansson's response. On Facebook, Nima Dervish wrote, quote, "Talk about not being diplomat material. All it took was one tweet, in Polish, by Beata Mazurek, who, please note, is not president, Minister of Foreign Affairs, or something like that, but just a member of the European Parliament, for Johansson to flip and exclaim, 'What about you?' and insult far more Poles than just Mazurek and company by describing Poland as a crappy country that Poles flee and that exports a lot of thieves here." Johansson, the member of Parliament should thus rather ask why so many Poles flee Poland. Something we actually have problems with is foreign theft gangs, not least from Poland. Foreign gangs are behind almost half of all burglaries in Sweden and 90% of all thefts of cars, boat engines and agricultural machinery. If the Member of Parliament can do something about it, I would be grateful. This just a year after Polish firefighters helped Sweden and was met by Swedish praise. How often has Johansson and company thrown such "your country sucks" comments at the mullahs in Iran, the neo-Ottomans in Turkey or the anti-Semites in Palestine? The Wilt crisis, with all the complaints from Muslim countries who didn't get why we just didn't hang the man, was an excellent occasion to remind how many had fled them loser countries. But then there were mostly comments about how much we respected their religion. P.S. You could wonder why Poland's theft gangs go through the trouble of going to Sweden. Wouldn't it be more comfortable stealing at home? Could it be? Sarcastic smiley, unquote. And here I'd like to insert that I think that Nima Dervish is referring to the very low punishments in Sweden for committing crimes. Dervish continues, quote, "PS2, how do we know that it is Polish theft gangs? Do we have statistics? Wasn't it wrong to keep statistics on background versus crime? PS3, I had never been robbed by Poles, but the city is full of beggars from Romania. But it was impossible to do something about it because free movement within the European Union. But now Poland can stop people from taking the boat here for crimes that they will commit? Then we could have arrested a lot of Islamists heading for the genocide tour in Syria," unquote. Nima Dervish is right. He pretty much said what needed to be said when it comes to the discussion between Beata Mazurek and Johansson. And I agree with him. Why does a Swedish minister feel the need to comment on a tweet in Polish by a member of the European Parliament? I'll tell you why. It's all about the image of Sweden, Sverigebilden. When Donald Trump pointed to Sweden in 2017, saying, "Look at what's happening in Sweden," Swedish politicians like ex-Prime Minister Carl Bildt, a pseudo-conservative, tweeted, quote, "Sweden? Terror attack? What has he been smoking? Questions abound," unquote. However, President Trump didn't speak about a terror attack in Sweden. What Donald Trump said on February 18th, 2017 was, quote, "You look at what's happening last night in Sweden." Sweden! Who would believe this? Sweden! They took in large numbers. They're having problems like they never thought possible, unquote. Which is pretty much what Beata Mazurek said too about Sweden. And just a few days after President Trump's statements, There were riots in Rinkeby, a no-go zone in Stockholm. My first video that surpassed 10,000 views was about the Rinkeby riots. And sadly, then the Stockholm terrorist attack happened in April 2017. And you know, Sweden has been used as a warning example, not only in Poland, but also in Norway, Denmark and Hungary. So maybe the Swedish Minister of Justice, Johansson, should listen to those that point out these facts, like Beata Mazurek did. You know, I grew up in Sweden, lived there for the first 28 years of my life. After that, I have visited the country every now and then, since I have family and friends there. I have also been to Poland. Where do you think I felt more secure? Yes, you guessed it, in Poland. So I support Beata Mazurek's tweet, and I hope that the Swedish government starts to listen. Maybe they could hire some Polish conservatives to help them with their policies. And that's what I have to say about this. So what do you think? Comment below. And if you like this video, I'd really appreciate any donations. Even $1 makes a difference. If everyone who watched this channel gave $1, it would transform this channel. Just take a look at the links below. But if you really can't financially support this channel, I would be very grateful if you would share a link to one of your favorite videos from this channel on your social media, because ad revenue also helps. And it also helps against YouTube's deranking of this channel. Also, make sure to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Most importantly, please pray for this channel. And check out my live stream on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 11:30 p.m. Central European Time. Until next time, have a nice day, thank you for watching and God bless.